Hey y'all, today I want to talk about excellence, right? Now in Daniel chapter 5, it's speaking of King Belshazzar, and this is where he held a feast and he brought all the cups and the bowls and whatnot that he had taken from the temple, and he began eating and drinking out of them, and he got cursed for it, right? So a hand came, wrote something on the wall, and next thing you know, his body starts breaking down. And so he calls to all his wise men and magicians and whatnot, having them interpret what was on the wall, but none of them could interpret it. And then the queen comes in and says this to him. In chapter 5, verse 11, she says, "There is a man in your kingdom in whom is the spirit of the holy God. And in the days of your father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, were found in him. And King Nebuchadnezzar, your father the king, made him chief of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers, inasmuch as an excellent spirit, knowledge, understanding, interpreting dreams, solving riddles, and explaining enigmas were found in this Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will give the interpretation." And then in the very next chapter, chapter 6, verse 3, after Daniel, of course, interprets, verse 3 says, "Then this Daniel distinguished himself above the governors and satraps because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king gave thought to setting him over the whole realm." Now, the point I want to make is that excellence is not to be avoided. Excellence isn't a negative thing. Excellence and perfectionism are not the same thing. Perfectionism says you must be perfect in everything you do, and anything less is unacceptable. Excellence strives to do the best to your abilities in anything that you do. Now, when you look up the word excellent used here in scripture, two things stand out that I really like. In the definition, in the Strong's Concordance definition for excellent, or excellence, are the words extreme and exceedingly. Now, I enjoy the fact that the word extreme is there because if I were to just speak on this from my perspective, people would say that I'm too hard, I'm a perfectionist, I need to lay off, back up. But it's right there in the definition. And then the word exceedingly states that excellence goes beyond what is expected, right? You have the level that's expected that you be perfectly happy with, but excellence goes beyond that if it's possible, of course. Now, there's a Christian organization that I've become familiar with, right? And it seems as if throughout this entire organization, no matter what area, what department you go to, it always seems like some lackluster performance issues are going on. And the more time that I've spent around this organization, I kind of sense that there's this feeling or this unconscious idea that because it's a Christian organization, so because everyone that works there is a Christian, and because everyone who does business there is likely a Christian as well, that there's this understanding that we all operate in grace. So if I'm a subpar over here a little, you have grace for that. If I'm subpar over here a little, you have grace for that. You have grace for all of my lackluster performance. Now, grace is amazing. I'm thankful for the grace of God over my life. I'm thankful for the grace of others toward me. But when everyone in your organization and every department has this idea that in the name of grace, it's okay to not only go above and beyond, not go above and beyond, but not even be up to par, continuously, like perpetually. Not in the grand scheme of things, but like I said, in this little area or that little area, just this constant subpar performance in the name of grace. It's almost like laziness kind of creeps in the name of grace. And I don't believe that's correct. As Christians, we should be an example to the world in everything, not just spirituality, but in business, in education, and all the seven mountains, as they say, of society. And so being around this organization, it just really got me thinking about, excellence versus grace. Because like I said, it seems like in the name of grace, there's this lackluster performance going on throughout the entire organization. And it's not me just complaining, right? Because I see the issues. I believe it's part of the gifting that God's given me, the administrative leadership gifting, as well as my experience within an organization called the United States Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is an organization that has smaller organizations within it. So I've been in an organizational structure for a while. And so I see the issues, but then I also have solutions for those issues or suggested solutions. And so just being around this organization got me thinking about the spirit of excellence. Like, where is the excellence? You know? And it's a word to all of us. It's a word to myself. I wouldn't say anything to anyone that I would not say to myself. Trust me, I'm not above anyone. Lord help me, believe that. But I just want to say to you, number one, don't look at excellence in the same light that you look at perfectionism. Excellence is a godly thing, and we should all strive to be excellent in whatever it is that we do. Thank you.